Peace and love. Today we'll be talking all about the sacred feminine and sexuality. We're going to be talking about feminine energy and how to use it in intimacy. I'm going to be debunking some myths. We're going to also answer some questions on how your sacred sexuality, your sacred sexual energy is the key to unlocking success in life, in your health, in your relationships, in love, and in money. And we're just going to be debunking so much misconceptions when it comes to the sacred feminine and sexual energy. Who am I to even talk about this? My name is Maya Luisa. If you're new to this channel, I'm a feminine embodiment coach. I've been studying sacred sexuality for many years, and I've also got my certification, which will be completed in a couple months, to become a holistic sexual health educator. I'm immersed and slightly obsessed with this topic, and so I'm very happy to share all of the years of knowledge into this little soundbite and continue to share because it's very important for our health and our well-being as women. The first thing I want you to know is that if you are born into a female body, most likely you have a very different experience of sexual energy than the masculine. So all of culture, pop culture, and a lot of the Western way that we're taught how sex should look and how it should feel is coming from media, and it's coming from the masculine experience of arousal and the masculine experience of sex. And so if you're not in your masculine energy, then you can see it and try to replicate it and be more in a performance state and not really truly embodying your truth of your experience of arousal and intimacy. Because for the feminine, that is very different. The masculine, you can see like in movies and you can see in TV shows and all the things, people just running and ripping each other's clothes off, and it's very hot and it's very intimate, and that's just the way that it's portrayed. But there's so much variety in that experience, and that is just one aspect. But the feminine experience can be so vast and so different. It's not always just extremely fast paced and extremely just passionate and ripping clothes off. That's a very limited view of how it should look. And so if you desire something different, but that's all you see, you can then judge yourself for wanting something different or wanting a different form of intimacy. And so it's very important to understand that as a feminine being born into a feminine body or expressing feminine energy or born into a female body, your brain is different. And the way that we process information, we have what's called diffuse awareness. And this came from evolution. So when we're in a space, we're taking in everything. This is coming from when we used to not have shelter. So we're taking in all of the surroundings. And it takes a while for us to take in the surroundings to feel safe. And then to feel safe is how we actually are able to open and then express and feel safe to express intimacy and arousal, and for our body to even register that it's safe now for reproductive activities. But if you don't take that time, your body is not open and she's not feeling safe. And so many times, what I think and what I see and what I experience from my clients is that you're overriding your bodies by using lube, overuse of lube. You're basically not listening and internalizing your experience to slow down, to open and feel safe. And so you override that by the overuse of lube. So there is so much shame, there's so much guilt, there's so much confusion that's going on when it comes to the feminine and sexuality. The feminine, the truth is, what I really want you to know, this is the most important thing. Feminine energy and her sexual power are so magnificently powerful energies in this earth. It moves mountains. It creates monuments. It creates wars and it creates peace. Your intimacy, your sexual energy is extremely potent and extremely powerful, which is why for many centuries they have been telling women that to feel shame, to feel guilt, and to repress it and to suppress it and to not know your power. Because once you know, keys unlock doors, and it's absolutely life changing. Absolutely life changing. The powers that be don't want you to know your power, but the truth is, it's extremely powerful. So, a lot of the times when we don't feel safe, when we don't take the time to open, what can happen is that you can feel a lot of shame and feel a lot of guilt in that you're not ready or you're not open or you're not feeling like you want to or even have that desire, and then you can feel even worse about yourself. Well, the truth is that the path to the feminine and her intimacy is deeply connected to the ability to feel safe, but also your access to your inner world and inner peace and safety within yourself, and then that connection with the partner. So that's not established. We're constantly overriding it, and that can just cause damage. There's also this idea that women have been taught for so long that being a woman in a relationship is her job, it's her duty, just like washing the dishes or just like, whatever domestic job that is thought that is a woman to do. That sex is a part of it. Like it's something that you're supposed to just give. It's something that you're supposed to just, it's your job. The truth is that, as you know, we have our desire. We are filled with desire. And we have our own arousal and our own fire that's within us that we want, that we want. And so cultivating and stoking that fire is deeply healing because your sexual energy is connected to your beauty, connected to your radiance, and connected to your power. When you own that fire, when you own that energy, you allow it to flow naturally through your body. What it does is a deeply healing, revitalizing. It brings you vitality, it brings you energy, it brings you strength, it brings you clarity in your mind. It makes you, when you step out, then you stand so firm in your power. There's no dormant energy, especially in the pelvis. So most women, if you've listened to any of my videos, I talk about this a lot. Most women have a very frozen pelvis, meaning that the pelvis is stiff. We're sitting down all the time. We're sitting in front of screens. We're not moving in the way that our ancestors move. We're not doing the dancing as much. And so because of that, there's this frozen energy in the pelvis. And so that's a stagnant energy also of your sexual energy. And the sexual energy, what it does is it travels through the body and it comes back up and it goes down and it comes back up through a channel in your body. So if you have like a blockage in a part of your body, then you don't have the energy going down and deepening into your creative center, into a power center of gravity, into your sense of power. And so when you're showing up fully alive and awakened in your sexual energy, you're showing up in the fullness of your power. It's magnetic. It's so incredibly powerful. Your ideas come to you with more clarity. When you stand firm in the earth. And it's not that it's some energy that you have to go share it. You have to go push it on someone. You have to go, it's something that is for you to cultivate, and you share it in divine union with someone that's going to cherish it and the right person. We can talk about that in another video. But it's really about understanding that this is a potent energy that exists within you, and it's an energy that can triple and multiply and all of those things. And that's something that I teach inside my course, Enchantress. So lots of time they will try to get women to take pills or just do it, or all types of things that is very external from us. But the truth is that this potent energy exists within, and it's an inward cultivation. It's an inward cultivation of the energy, accessing the energy, bringing the energy, tripling it in the body. And so, how it's connected to beauty is if you think about our internal organs, like if you know about birth, right? And you know that your vaginal canal is mimicked in your right here of your body, your neck. And so the more that you're relaxing in your mouth, or the more that you're clenching in your mouth, is reflected of the same thing that's happening in your yoni. When you see women in birth, you often see the doulas will tell them to relax your mouth and do this to relax your mouth, because when you clench in your mouth, you're not opening and not dilating there. So all of it is very connected. So as you begin to cultivate this energy, and through these ancient techniques, what you're doing is you're actually going to tone the vaginal canal. You're actually going to really work these muscles, because think about it, you're sitting on top of them all the time. And so with time there's atrophy, with time that the muscles are going to start to sag a little bit. And so you have these ancient exercises, not Kegels boring, we all know that. Kegels is named after a man in the 1940s and 1950s who did not invent this exercise, but he basically, it's the pulling and the pulsing of the PC muscle, the pelvic floor, but you're not getting the full range of the vaginal canal. And our ancient ancestors and the women of and of time back in the day knew the value of actually working the full length of the vaginal canal, as it is connected to our facial muscles and to our beauty. And so the more, like if you see women with like a downturned lips like this, that is reflective of what's going on down there. And so the more that you work these muscles underneath, the more that there's going to be this lift in your face, because you're bringing this oxygenated blood, you're bringing circulation, you're bringing energy, you're bringing life, and all of that is reflecting here and then coming up. It's like a lift for all of your organs. It's very beautiful. It's extremely powerful. And it's something that you have to learn it not from AI. You know what I mean? Like we are in this modern world with so much technology, so much information being just thrown at us. But we're also ancient. Our bodies are ancient, and they learn through embodiment. Our ancestors didn't learn from computers. They learned from the mothers passing it to their daughters, the aunties passing it to their daughters. They learned in rites of passage. Women learned that sacred no and the sacred yes in rites of passage, as did young boys. We learned the embodiment of feminine energy and all of that through rites of passage, through looking and getting the codes from women who were older than us. And that's how the information was passed down. It was not through like just random, random like things on a screen. It's these codes are unlocked through embodiment. It's not something that you can get from AI. And that's the beauty of it, is that we learn from embodiment, and that's how the codes are unlocked for us. And so, thankfully, I am a belly dancer, and I've been studying yoga and sacred sexuality for many years. And so when I'm working with my clients, I'm able to pass the codes because I'm embodied in that. It's in my body. And that's how I teach. And that's why it's so powerful. Because that's how we learn as humans, that's how we learn as women. This ancient art of sacred sexuality is not, it's not something that's very external. It's something that's very, very deeply cultivated from within. It's like your own personal reverence for you, but you can be guided. You can be guided because of that. That's how we learned, is through embodiment. And so the rites of passage was something that ancestors did as a way of teaching these techniques and of teaching young women about their body and about how sacred their body is, how beautiful their body is, about their first moon and how to care for their period and how their period is beautiful. It's a reverence for the body. There's no shame in being a woman. There's no shame in bleeding. It's beautiful. That's how we have Earth. That's how we have all these humans. It's because we bleed every month. It's very beautiful. But what are we taught? We're taught, oh, just hide it away. It's dirty. It's this, it's that. It's actually very beautiful if you think about it. Womb blood is beautiful. It's how we're all here. It's magical. And so there's so many myths around women. And so a lot of times too is that we don't understand that a lot of in intimate situations, women are often giving what they want to receive. And so the masculine experience of arousal and the masculine experience of intimacy and sexuality is quite different. And so there can be a mismatch if we don't understand the polarity and holding our feminine essence in that intimacy instead of trying to become like a man, which is what most women are taught. It's what all that we see. We rarely see the embodiment of the fullness of the power of the divine feminine, especially in intimacy. And so when we're holding that energy, that is when the magic happens. And that is when you're standing so much in your power. You inspire the masculine very deeply, very beautifully, and very easily. It's not something that is so much of an effort as it's something of a remembrance. And that is what I'm inspired to do, is just to have this remembrance of reverence for the sacred sexuality of the feminine. And so I have this beautiful course. It's called Enchantress. It starts June 24th. And if you're interested, the link is in the description. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm so excited to bring it. So excited to have this offering. I've been working on it for about 18 months, I think. And we have jade eggs, and we have embodiment and belly dancing and breath work and all of these things to really awaken your sacred sexuality, to turn you into the enchantress that you are, to bring out that beautiful essence that exists within you. She's in there. To heal from the shame, to heal from the guilt, to heal from the negative programming around it, to heal from negative experiences you may have had. And so this is just a beautiful offering, and I would love to have you. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you in the next video. Peace and love.